I asked you guys to get over 300 likes on my previous video, and you guys absolutely demolished it. So here we are back again as the Chin. If you haven't seen that video already, I'm going to leave a link down in the comment section down below and also in the description and probably on the top of the screen right now. What we're going to be doing today is pretty much finishing up this mission tree and focusing on making ourselves the #1 great power. I am completely out of manpower as of right now, so we're going to be focusing a lot on the internal stuff of our empire. Very first one I want to deal with is this one here, because we keep getting events where we have massive flooding all along the river, and it destroys our development and it makes us lose stability and even more mandate. And once we kind of go down this path here, it would actually increase our trade power and makes us basically a trade powerhouse, giving us estuaries and really good canals. We even have a few great projects in this area, which is actually the Grand Canal. Basically, all these in this area here around Nanjing are all the Great Canal. And some of the other great projects we're going to be focusing on is going to be like the Temple of Confucius and also the Forbidden City. In terms of tech, we are ahead in Diplo, so might as well start deving provinces with our Diplo points. All these just need to be improved at least 3 times, and the devastation needs to be below 1. So after dumping a bunch of Diplo points in here, we get Yellow River dikes. So every single province that we just developed in that mission now gets this permanent modifier, giving us local dev cost, more tax, and also monthly devastation. And we also get 5 mandate. Also, potential floods along the Yellow River will be significantly less devastating for us, which sounds great to me.
Yeah, boy.
Just notice our Crownlands is absolutely garbage right now. But we do have the eunuchs here, and we do unfortunately kind of have to deal with the eunuch. They have to have at least 60 loyalty and 5 privileges for this to be done. We have to employ a few different advisors and also have at least 40% Crownland. And then we have the eunuchs of the Qin Empire. Either we can kind of comply with the eunuch and get stability while at the cost of corruption, or we can just straight up herb them. They lose loyalty and land. Does affect how we do this mission. I'm thinking we are going to do this. We just need to get to that 40% land control. We did get colonialism in Beijing. Thank you very much to Korea over here. Even though they are rival to us, they are spreading it to everybody in the area. All right, I'm thinking we are going to be passing one of these celestial reforms, and we're going to go with the new Keju format. This gives us mandate growth modifier and progress growth, and all of our tributaries we get governing capacity plus 5%. Okay, and mainly after that mandate growth modifier. Go ahead and do this. We're going to lose 70 mandate and a stability. However, I'm going to get another 5 mandate from this event, and luckily because we are a new imperial dynasty, we do get an extra 0.05 towards our mandate growth modifier, so we are growing, our mandate's growing pretty fast. When we get this event, perfection of Ming porcelain, so these provinces get local production efficiency plus 5 until the end of the game. Now we can complete this mission, expand the boat, which we improved Canton at least 4 times, and we got our merchant guild to be 60% loyal, and now we're going to get the Pearl Estuary event, where Pearl Estuary is actually expanded. Now it gives us additional 20% local trade power and even cheaper governing local governing costs has actually been reduced by 50 in this one province. So here we either have to level up all 4 of these provinces to tier 2 in the Grand Canal, or alternatively we could just build 3 buildings there, expand infrastructure once, and make sure it has a workshop. So probably going to be the workshop option. We're going to have about 137,000 troops. We're not going to build up to our force summit just yet. However, we will be going on some conquest soon enough to take over all of Manchuria. I'm thinking for a decree that we can enact, we're going to go with the fun education centers for additional technology costs and institution spread. And we can complete this mission here where we improved our capital at least 10 times, built a marketplace and a temple. So now we get an additional 15 mandate, additional support for colonialism, 100% prosperity progress, 200 splendor, 10 meritocracy, and we can also complete this mission here where all these provinces just need to have a base production of at least 15 ton of trade power, and for the rest of the game they get trade efficiency and trade power along with us getting 10 mercantilism. Since we are in the Age of Reformation, I'm going to be going with the institutional spread. That's going to help us out, especially with getting colonialism and eventually printing press from Korea. And I could embrace colonialism as of right now. However, I am going to wait until it's at least in our capital of Xi'an. So then that way it's a little bit cheaper. Plus it's going to spread a lot faster since we have a lot of high dev provinces. Finally, after seizing land again and getting up to 40 2% crownlands, we can finally complete Cornerstone of the Empire, where we chose to curb the eunuchs. So we're going to get Expand Palace Bureaucracy Decree, which makes advisors a lot cheaper. However, if we decide to empower them, our reform progress growth would have been a lot faster, but we would have got more corruption, and their influence would have been a lot, they would have been a lot more influential for the next 50 years. And then after expanding infrastructure in all of our Grand Canal provinces, we can finally get this. So now we get our rulers now a great engineer, and every single province with a canal will gain 1 base production, and its workshop building is upgraded. So I'm assuming that means they are now counting houses? That is right, yes! Yeah, so they are counting houses, so in Chinese Haiguan, so we get even more production out of every one of these provinces. Let's do this, get the cheaper tech, and finally get our 3rd idea group, which I'm going to go with exploration ideas. Why am I going to do exploration ideas? Well, because we're going to start colonizing into the Philippines here. This is going to allow us to get some more tributary states, though I probably will conquer some of these guys. And it will also allow us to get into Indonesia and force a lot of these guys to be our tributaries. Also, Ayutthaya is getting dangerously close to actually forming Siam, and I am not willing to allow them to do that. Chairman says no. And also, Korea can no longer be a rival for us, so we might be able to eventually make them into a tributary. I would love to. And once we get caught up in our mill tech here, we're going to go all out on conquest of Manchuria. And we could complete this one, the Fate of the Mandate, because we are the Emperor of China and we own the entire subcontinent. And our ruler is actually going to gain +3 in every single monarch category. However, I'm going to wait until our heir actually comes of age. So I might, you know what, we're going to have our ruler abdicate right now. And I could move my capital. However, I do really like having our capital actually in Xi'an, because as I mentioned earlier, that is the traditional capital of most of the Chinese dynasties, and it's going to be renamed to Chang'an. Despite the city being the capital of numerous dynasties, it was burnt to the ground so many times, and by the time of the Tang dynasty, it was just completely ruined. Now I'm going to take this mission, and we got a bunch of additional monarch points, because obviously our perfect 666 ruler, he was a 543 before, so we ended up getting additional monarch points for every time that he went over. Completing this mission here will make the Temple of Confucius go up by 1 development, and we also gain a great temple in Yatzil, and also gain a stability. If you're not familiar with the Temple of Confucius, you get additional prestige and yearly harmony increase, and once you bump that up all the way, you get religious unity. And the harmony is really nice for a Confucian nation because, well, you can harmonize with other religions without having to pay or deal with the unrest that they bring. Alright, so unfortunately for me, the unguarded nomadic frontier is happening right now, so that means I'm just going to have to go ahead and blitzkrieg down the Oirat, as they are over 400 dev. They have like no troops though, so we're just gonna break them apart as much as possible. I don't really plan on taking much land, if any land really, from them. I mean, if anything, maybe I'll take Ordos, but I kind of don't have any desire to do so. So let's just go for it. And we can also get Miltech 11, putting us even closer to getting guns. I think Korea has guns. They do. All right, looking at the country's development, we're at is now under 200, is back to 297. They were at 314 just a moment ago. I want them to cancel some of their tributaries, which they have over here. They have a lot of tributaries, actually. Actually, I'm not going to have them cancel tributaries. I'm just going to make them release out some nations here. Finally, we do also have guns. So that really puts us like 4 miltechs ahead of Oirat. In terms of overall technology, we're on par now with Korea, and everybody else is way behind. Finally, we can get the piece that we want, releasing out Chagatai and whatever this country is, Chahar. And Chahar, I'm actually going to make into a tributary. I don't have any claims on these guys. So here's the plan. We're actually going to start kind of a big war. I mean, kind of not. We're going to be at war with Karadel. So this guy over here. We're going to be at war with Oirat. and Korea because we are going to conquer Yan. If I co-belligerent Korea, that does call on Qi. If I co-belligerent Qi, yeah, we'll do something like this. I do have to conquer both of these guys. I gotta give it to these Korean troops. They have much better discipline. I mean, I'm just gonna hire the discipline guy. Oh, there we go. I literally have to use my entire army to fight these this Korean general. It's horrible. I mean, at least they're out of manpower, but so am I. I had 70,000 troops. I'm about to hire the independent army. I'm just gonna have these guys siege down everything for me. Alright, and we can finally get Korea out of this war. That just, I mean, now we can finally win this war. Alright, and Oirat is finally getting bumped out of this war too, so now this war's done. You know, I could full annex both of these guys. And since we're gonna be sitting here for quite a while, because again, all of my manpower is gone, we're just going to be focusing on these internal missions right now. So deving up these two provinces and getting my eunuchs to be a lot more loyal. And by completing this mission, we get Eastern and Western bureaus. So let's see what happens when this fires. Found the Western bureau, which will be granted to the eunuchs. Gives me mandate growth and reform progress growth. Okay. I mean, it's supposed to allow us to choose between the two, but I only got the one. Tier 6 government time, we're going to go with Royal Decree for extra absolutism. Finally, we've also finished up quality ideas, so now we have a permanent extra 5 discipline. After hiring 3 level 3 advisors, having no corruption, and having 15 courthouses, we can complete this. Gives us the Great Chin Supervisory Agency. Pretty much all these are temporary bonuses for 30 years. I think it's kind of time we teach Korea a bit of a lesson for messing around with us. We're going to do a conquest CB on them, and we're going to make them break their tributary overlord status over Haishi and Orachoni here. Maybe even Japan will get involved. We'll see. Oh, I have good relations. Let me insult them. I don't want to have good relations with these guys. And right now we've whittled Korea down from 53,000 troops to 28,000. I can also complete this mission, enables the use of the 3 grand coordinate offices via the state screen. Similar to like the orders that the Iberians have, looks like we get something similar as the Chinese. Honestly, this seems to be pretty nice, especially for like areas like this where I can do this. It's going to increase. Wait, it's going to give us 10% inflation. Ooh, and because we took their capital, we can now bring the Tripitaka Koreana over to our country, and we actually get institution growth, which is fantastic. So we're obviously going to bring it to Chang'an. We can actually reinforce Chang'an also, so our fort is much better here in Chang'an. Now Korea, as I mentioned, I really want you, at the very least, we're going to make you break your tributary status with Haishi, and we finally won our war against them. Okay, that's fantastic. So once we get manpower again, we're going to go to war against Haishi and take like all of their Manchurian stuff. Finally, we have finished up innovative ideas, and we also got this, giving us usually mandate growth and meritocracy. But more importantly, we get an extra 15% infantry combat ability. So now we have 35% infantry combat ability. It should give us a bit of an edge over Korea if we have to fight them again. Finally, we can get this mission. That one took a lot longer than it honestly needed to. The rest of these missions we can't really get to until we get into the age of absolutism. But I mean, we could kind of plan ahead. But we can also complete this mission, making our ruler an entrepreneur, and every owned province with a center of trade gains 2 base production. Very, very nice. Alright, let's embrace printing press, giving us cheaper tech all across the board, and we're going to take our 4th idea group, which is going to be offensive ideas. Tier 7 government reform, we're going to go with the cheaper advisor one, meritocratic recruitment. Been practicing that one such a long time. I struggle so hard with saying that one. Time to launch a pretty decent sized war. We're going to be attacking Lena, who is allied to Ayutthaya, Mongfuan, who's right here, Kao, and Hispa. So 3 of those nations being significantly huge. But I'm going to try and take as much of Indochina as possible. We have a bunch of permanent claims here. Might as well start using it and actually expanding. Alright, as for Hispa, I'm just going to take their Tibetan stuff that they just took. They fought so hard to get this stuff. I'm taking it away from them. As for Ayutthaya, I'm going to make them break their alliance with Mong Mao, who I'm going to attack next. Then this war with Lana is pretty much over. I'm just going to take this much land. I'm going to take out some people in Indochina. I'm okay with that. Alright, time to take out Mong Mao with the Unified China CB. And what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to harmonize with Theravada because we're going to be expanding into Indochina a lot. I think this mission, I mean, we just get permanent claims here. I mean, technically I could just make everybody a tributary, but where's the fun in that when you could just conquer everything? We're also going to start another war, this time against Tonkin here. We're going to full annex these guys. Alright, this war with Tonkin, we're so close to being able to full annex these guys. We won't be able to, unfortunately, but yeah, close enough. Alright, finally, after taking over Mong Mao, we have actually completed unifying China. I forgot that they're part of the Shinan region. We could complete this, get Dynasty of the New Sun, so everything is cheaper by 5%. Mandate growth, all the states are happier, and we get permanent 25 power projection. We can also complete this mission. Our total development's grown by at least 1250. I would say so. And if we complete this mission via raising our number of subjects, we get 10 mandate per subject. Until the end of the game, we get Monarch Diplomatic Skill, Monarch Power Tribute from tributary states. Alternatively, if we do this by getting all this development, we get Qin Absolute Rule until the end of the game, giving us harsh treatment costs and max effect of absolutism by 10%. So it's going to make our absolutism more effective. And hello, Sean. How did I know this was going to happen here? Alright, time to make a quick pit stop in my buddy Tibet. Also, after embracing printing press and doing some more conquests, we are the #1 great power. Nobody else in Asia anywhere near us is anywhere near being close to being a great power, I guess. Is that maybe Transoxiana? Alright, and we can go ahead and full annex U. And all we are left with is just fighting Afghanistan for 3 provinces. Which may end up becoming Delhis. No, they're not going to become Delhis, thank goodness. And we have officially conquered the entire Tibet region. That's one area of all of our permanent claims done. Now we gotta get into Manchuria and the rest of Indochina. Alright, time to begin actually a really big war against Haishi. They are behind me a little bit in tech. They have about 50k troops. They're allied to Orachoni and Karadel. We're going to focus everything we have in the Haishi. You can finally see Europe. What's going on over here? Okay, Novgorod's still very much alive because Russia's big dum-dum, who is allied to Serbia and the Ottomans. 2 Sicilies is so close to forming Italy. We actually have a Netherlands this game? Oh, that actually makes me happy. You never get to see Netherlands. I'm assuming it was Holland that formed them. Songhai's big. We have a Somalia? Why does Austria own this one random oh. They're a junior partner under Poland. Well, the Commonwealth. Alright, in this war with Haishi, I'll only be able to take this many provinces. A lot of their land is very high dev. Especially for a horde nation, this is might actually take us quite a bit to conquer, or at least cut through some of their land. Alright, we can make Delhi into a tributary state. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do the same thing with Tidore here. And Philippines will eventually just conquer. Alright, the next mission for Era of the Great Dragon, which gives us all power cost -5 and even more governing capacity. We either have to have 50 absolutism or 95% crown lands. And global trade has spawned in England, of course. And kind of looking ahead, I have to complete the civil registration mandate reform. So might as well, let's just do this right now. I have a truce with pretty much everybody. Now's the best time to do this. Truce with Haishi is over. Let's go ahead and do this war. We're going to wait peace out Orachoni and come back for them a little bit later in this war too. Also, I was mistaken about these. Basically the Chinese version of orders. They don't give you inflation. The cost of the office is affected by the amount of inflation that you have. Alright, white piecing out Orachoni, as I mentioned earlier. This way we could come back and hit them again and even beat up on Haishi yet again. And so far, this is what our piece is going to look like against Haishi, cutting them in half. Finally, after revoking a couple more privileges, we can have up to 64 absolutism. Which is fantastic because we need to have at least 50 to complete this next mission. Alright, let's embrace global trade. And what I'm doing right now is I'm building a ton of manufactories. I mean, like, our economy is already like one of the largest, if not the largest in the world, with us producing over 221 ducats. Or actually, ours is right below the British, who are getting the majority of their income from trade. So most of our income is from both production and tax. Decent, a little bit amount from trade. So going heavily into the production route. Age absolutism is actually my favorite period in EU4. With certain modifiers like this one, the absolute government, giving us more yearly absolutism, and then the other one being administrative efficiency, which gives us +5, making it easier to take more provinces, and it should also affect the coring as well too. Rival wise, the game wants us to basically rival either Korea, Bengal, or Gujarat. I'm not going to do the Ottomans. As you guys can see, they're 157% stronger than us, which I am glad that they have been confined to here thanks to both Russia and Commonwealth. Also, we have a Persia in our game. That actually brings me some joy. I'm really excited for this next update also. So it brings me some joy to see Persia forming even without the update. Okay, our truce with Haishi is over. We are going to go ahead, attack them, co-belligerent. Or never mind, we aren't going to co-belligerent Orachoni because guess what? They're a tributary state under Japan. Though if I were to just directly attack Orachoni, Japan would not join, so it's probably better off if I just do that and co-belligerent Haishi, so that's what we're going to do. Which, paired up with innovative ideas, we can take this leader siege and siege ability. With Haishi, we can actually take the provinces that we want here, which is, again, just the Manchurian stuff, so we're going to take that. And with Orachoni, we'll actually be able to full annex these guys. And why is that? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have the administrative efficiency to do so because we took that in age absolutism, and we almost have about 50 absolutism, which does increase our admin efficiency, allowing us to take more provinces. Makes it easier to, or makes the coring of those provinces a lot faster and gives us additional discipline. So we're actually at 112 discipline. That's why if you ever attempt a world conquest run, you have to really focus on the admin efficiency. That's why nations like the Mughals are so good, because they have admin efficiency in their ideas. And we could finally complete the mission Era of the Great Dragon because we now have at least 50 absolutism. Our crownlands almost there. As I mentioned earlier, we're almost at that 95% range. Honestly, 80%, that's more than enough. So we're going to take this. This is going to make it even cheaper to do anything in the game. So all of our monarch points, we don't really have to spend as much. And we get even more governing cap, which is great because I'm almost at my cap right now. After finally stack wiping Orachoni's entire army, we could full annex them for only 176 admin. Looking pretty good. We pretty much look like modern day China, with the exception of like some of the Central Asian stuff over here. Oh, and the fact we also own this island here that shall not be named, because at some point I will visit China, and I don't want to be banned out from ever visiting China. Alright, since we are in an era of peace, thinking let's do a government reform here. Like I said, we got to pass at least 15 of these. So we're going to do this one, reshape bureaucracy. This guarantees us an additional monarch skill. Alright, we're going to do our next war, which is going to be forcing Korea to become our tributary again. Earlier they did rival us and had high liberty desire, so they were able to break away. However, we're going to be able to force these guys to be our tributary, and we're going to keep them under our thumb for the rest of the game. Alright guys, we had the better, well, they have better discipline and morale. A little bit better tactics, and that's because their discipline's a little bit higher than ours. For we got the superior numbers, of course. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear down these walls, and we're just going to assault it. These are 100,000 mercs that I have. So, not my manpower I'm losing out on. Thank you. You're going to be my tributary, and you're going to give me some money. That war was way worse than it needed to be. Alright, I'm going to pass this Celestial Reform, Delegate Zhengdu. This is going to give us monthly autonomy change and state maintenance, and this is also going to allow us to complete our next mission. Finally, finishing up economic ideas. So then we get 10% goods produced, an additional merchant, and we can also get additional discipline. And so far, all my merchants, I have them pushing trade towards Xi'an, that is our capital. Would it probably be better to push all of our trade somewhere else? More than likely, like Hangzhou, since it does get trade from the Nippon area. However, I am just going to push it all here. I am also going to start collecting trade here in the Yumen trade node because I see almost 8 ducats are getting pushed out of here. Actually, I'm going to send this guy here instead. Oh, and Japan has announced me as a rival. I'm okay with that. We've also reached our maximum absolutism of 95. If I were to get rid of the Western Bureau and the single whip law from the eunuchs, we can obviously have a lot more. Also, I'm super close actually to getting 100% absolute or 100% crownland. Alright, and we now officially have 100% crownlands, giving us an additional 15 maximum absolutism, 100% reform progress growth, monthly autonomy change, and yearly absolutism +1. Now we can have 105. Part of that's because we are in a golden era. But that basically means we can have almost up to 50% administrative efficiency. Finally, we can embrace manufactories. That took a lot longer than what it needed to. I honestly thought we were going to spawn manufacturing. And Korea broke their tributary status with us again. Ah, Korea. And now Japan is invading Korea. How did I know this was going to happen? This actually works out in my favor because if Japan wastes all their time beating up Korea, it allows me to actually finish conquering most of this. And maybe I could even land in mainland Japan. And you know what? I'm thinking it's time that we just straight up take over Korea because I'm tired of forcing them to be our tributary. And I think it's Diplotech 22. It might be 24 when we actually get the Imperialism CB. I think it is 24. Alright, 6th idea group time. I'm honestly kind of tempted to take diplomatic ideas because this paired up with the Imperialism CB and also all of our administrative efficiency and absolutism will make it really, really cheap to take nations over. At the same time, defensive would also be fantastic. And it's Diplotech 23 actually where we do get Imperialism. You know what, we're going to go with defensive ideas. Just to get some additional morale and to lower our army maintenance cost and to lower how much attrition we actually take. Or is that quantity? Quantity lowers the attrition, land attrition. And no, we'll just do defensive, even though quantity might be a little bit better. And I feel like despite us having low mandate, which is at, well, about to be 40 in a minute here, we're going to go ahead and attack Japan. We're just going to hold them. You know, we're going to try and take these provinces up here and of course try and land in mainland Japan here. But you know, while we're in this war, eventually our mandate's going to grow and we'll be able to just land our troops over here. Plus, Sherman kind of forgot I have to build transport, so it's going to buy us some time. Alright, first battle against the Japanese. It's only 25,000 of them versus 60,000 of my guys. We'll kind of get an idea of where our army stands with them. They have better morale than us. We have a little bit better discipline and better tactics. Obviously, we're going to stack wipe this. Obviously, we're so close to stack wiping that army. Oh well. I want to set my navy to just hunt enemy ships in the East China Sea. I don't feel like just clicking around until that happens. Oh, we actually sunk their flagship. Nice. Because our admin efficiency is so good, we can develop provinces for basically 4 monarch points. I honestly feel bad. I'm just bullying Japan. They only have 3 ships now. Here we go. We're just going to stack wipe a bunch of them. Pretty much, yeah, we took out like half their army just now. We're just going to keep marching our merry way all the way through Japan at this point. Especially because, quite frankly, Japan can't stop us. You know, I'm a Chinese historian. I don't ever remember the Qin dynasty ever having a major revival like this and taking over half of Japan, but, you know, maybe we missed that. You know, as historians, we might have just missed this war. Alright, finally we got our 50 mandate. It's imperialism time on Korea. Let's do it. Oh, good relations, of course. Every time. Oh, this does not help my case. Man, the previous like 2-3 wars against Korea have been such a pain, and I've lost like 100,000 men just, you know, invading the northern area here. And we're about to just barely get under 100,000 men. We own almost all of the Korean Peninsula right now. Alright, time to push, stack wipe the Korean army. And yes, I am going, even though I've already defeated the Koreans, you know, basically reach 100 war score, I am going to stack wipe their army. I am going to decimate the Korean Peninsula. I am sorry, any of my viewers from Korea, but your country put up too much of a fight. They can't be allowed to have a powerful army. And there we go, the entire Korean army is just gone. And we can take almost the entirety of the Korean Peninsula, which is just insane. So here we go, taking almost all of Korea. And yeah, that did put us at over 141 overextension. That's okay. And of course, Japan's trying to invade Korea now. And our truce with Japan is up. And again, they are losing to Korea right now. So now actually might be a good time to just beat up on Japan. And our troops are just flat out better than the Japanese ones. We have 120 discipline, 7.1 morale. They have 6 morale, 119 discipline. I just have to make sure I group up my army together, and we'll win like every single battle pretty much. Alright, we can finally finish off defensive ideas. Perfect. Also make sure that we concentrate and stay up all the Korean land. Ton of dev here, thanks to Korea playing super tall. The AI for Korea, if you're not familiar, is pretty much guaranteed to play tall every time. In this war, we're going to take so close to full annexing all of mainland Japan here. And we just got the fall of Kyoto because we did just take it away from them. Alright, I did just vassalize the Shan over here. Which, I mean, it's going to put us at odds regardless with Bengal. Definitely ally Deccan and get them to break their alliance with Bengal. And the Enlightenment has spawned. We're at, oh, in Naples, aka two Sicilies, aka about to be Italy once they take like 1 or 2 provinces. Alright, I'm thinking I'm going to move my main trading port here to Beijing. Reason being, I think I could actually get better trade here, that's why. So let's try this. And divert all of our trade to go towards Beijing. And sure enough, we got so much more money. I was only, the Xi'an was only up to 52 ducats. This one, Beijing's almost up to 100 ducats. They immediately almost pushed us over 500 total income, which I think if I take my merchant out of Chengdu here, I could actually make more money having him transfer trade power from Gurin. I mean, I did technically make more money with 508. And right now, we actually have the highest income in the world, followed by Great Britain, and then a huge 100 ducat drop off with Castile. Man, Britain just has a lot of money just chilling around. Oh, I could finally become an economic hegemon. So this is the first time I've ever become a hegemon in any game. And the reason why is because our total income is at 1,000. We're making them almost 700 ducats a month. So let's do this. We're going to get monthly war exhaustion, merc, manpower, development cost modifier. As our power grows, we get even more goods produced, mercenary discipline, minimum autonomy in territories, and at our maximum power, we get governing capacity modifier. Ooh, closer to China, close China to the outside world. Get more trade, less ideas and institutions, more expensive. We lose stability, get tech costs and idea costs. We're gonna go with the first option. Rival of the Jesuits. Let's see, I can have my province changed to Catholic. Get a bunch of monarch points and a bunch of people like me, or get this. Why wouldn't I go for that first option where I get 100 of each category? Improvements, coal mining. Oh. Do we get a furnace in Cebu? Oh, heck yeah. And I did just get an achievement actually. The global hegemony one, which reach 100 strength as any type of hegemon. So of course economic. I can finally complete this mission. Shaanxi and Zheshur, which gives us power projection permanently. Prosperous era to the end of the game, so all power costs -5, and our monarch gets +1 in each category. If he's already there, we're gonna just get 100 monarch points. And now we're down to the last thing, so we have to pass five more celestial reforms. Also, apparently got another achievement today, which is wonderful. Own 8 different monuments on tier 3. As you can see, I've been using a lot of my money to upgrade everything. Alright, finally we can pass our final celestial reform. We'll just do this one just to get it done. Boost up stab one more time. And we can finally complete Heaven's Will. Because our emperor is actually an empress, we get the true daughter of heaven. If you have a male ruler, then obviously you're going to have the true son of heaven event. Let's see what happens here. Qin gets divine favor until the end of the game, giving us permanent -10 death cost, liberty, desire, and subjects, max effect to absolutism, 100 prestige, and all that extra prestige is going to be converted into monarch points, which I do have 100 prestige. So nice. And that's going to conclude it for today's video. We do have by far the largest economy. We are making over 2,000 ducats in total income, with almost 1.70 thousand ducats coming in every single month. If you guys really enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit that like button, and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything else. And if you want to check out even more of my videos, make sure you click on one of these 2 videos right now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.